Yeah, he passed away on a Friday. It was a real tough day. It was tough for Teresa. She broke down um, so bad that I had to take her home from work. And I remember having to almost carry her. She was her her knees and legs were just like dead weight. I had to just, really physically try to get her to the car, and took her home, dropped her off, and I had to get back to work. I had to run the business. Comes with running a business. Sometimes life's just maybe tough, but you can't get away from your. I remember that day really clear. Something else happened that I just can't believe. Like, when I think back on like how people are. So I came back to work, and it was pretty early in the morning still. I think I was back here at the shop by 9 o'clock, and going through my day, kind of just ignoring the situation, just trying to get through my day, dealing with customers. Everything was going smooth. There was a Honda Odyssey that came in with a no start. It was towed in, do my normal stuff that I do. We diagnose it. Hey, called the customer. We found the issue. The repair's going to be $300. Customer's excited over the phone. Yeah, go ahead, fix it. We send them a text. Customer approves $300. Reply to approved. They reply. That's our normal process. So we're always like on the same page, and customer always knows the price. So everybody picks up their cars by noon that day, and this customer tells me she's gonna be in at 12 to pick up the car. So I'm already planning in my head, okay, they're gonna come at noon, we're gonna close early the shop, and I'm just gonna take off and be with Teresa. So I'm preparing for that. 12 o'clock comes, 12:30, 1 o'clock, and the customer still hasn't shown. I'm not really gonna call the customer or bug them. Officially closed till 5. So 5 o'clock rolls around and they barely show up. It's not their fault. It's the time period where, or the season where the sun comes down really early. So it was already 5:30ish, and the sun's already coming down, and it's dark outside. So the customer comes in, and it was her and her husband, and just so you know, like generally when we do repairs, I always feel like a hero. Um, we accomplished something, we got it done the same day, we got the repair done the same day, and I pull out the credit card machine so they can pay, and she asks a question and says, "Why is it $300?" But so you understand, it really is like I have many years of experience. I understand the underlying tone and the way they ask the question. So I was like, in my head, because I'm focused on going home, it kind of like threw me off. Like, wait a minute, we talked over the phone at 9, 10 o'clock this morning that it's $300. I text you, you replied and approved $300, and you're asking why. And I explained it to you what the problem was, and she asked that question. So my brain was like, okay, maybe she didn't understand. So I explained to her what the cause and failure of the vehicle was and what it needed to get done for the repair. And she still had follow-up comments or questions. They weren't extremely rude, but once again, with my experience, I understood what she's trying to get to, which is she's trying to insinuate that it should have been cheaper. I didn't really get into that side of that. I was just kind of dumbfounded, like, well, my goal is to get home. My brain just kind of was a little bit confused. Like, we talked about this morning. You agreed to $300. You text the $300 that you agreed to it. And we're having this conversation all over again, which I knew where it was going. All I know is I wanted to leave. I didn't care about the money. Like, I wanted to go home. So I politely actually just put her keys on the desk and slid them to her, and I said, and with all sincerity, I told her, don't worry about it, you're good to go. You don't have to pay. It wasn't in a asshole way or rude way. It was in a very emotional way, because I wanted to go home. So you understand a little bit. It's kind of like when you were in elementary school and something bad happened at school. Someone made fun of you, somebody tripped you, somebody bullied you, and you just really want to go home. You want to go to your mom. You want to go to somewhere that you feel safe. That's kind of like what I really, really felt like. Just wanted to go home. Like, it wasn't about the money at that point. $300, keep it. Like, I really didn't want it. So I slid her the keys. I said, don't worry about it. And I proceeded to walk around the desk so I can get to the roll-up doors and start shutting it down. And I think she still wanted to talk about it, because because now that I'm saying, hey, it's for free, I think that kind of confused her a little bit. Now she's not fighting for whatever she felt. She made a couple comments, but at that point, the inside of me started trembling, and I'm not saying of anger or anything. That I started trembling. My emotions are starting to catch up. The thought process of the passing is starting to hit me. It's starting to hit me because I'm ready to start my mourning process, or start what I never started, which is tears. And the inside started trembling. She's I think, if I recall, she says, I just want to understand what's going on with my car, which I had already explained to her. And when I responded, my voice is now trembling. So it went from trembling inside to now I'm saying, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just I knew what was starting to happen, and tears started building up in my eyes. So I turned my back away from them so they wouldn't see. And I started walking towards the corner to bring the gates down. And she's still talking, and I full on broke down with my back against them. And I'm so you understand, I'm trying to hide from them. When someone's put on timeout in the corner, a little kid, that's the position I was, because the chains are there, and I was trying to hide my emotions, my face from them. And then it just blurted it out. It just came out with a cry. They couldn't see my face, but I can see my face right now. I need to go home. I need to go home. I need to go home. I said it just like that, with my back against them. I told them the truth. I remember saying, I'm having family issues and I need to get home, in a very, very emotional way. At some point, I had to turn and face them to help them exit. And that's when I saw their face, where their eyes were big and like, they knew something was going on at home. And what I just showed you right now is probably not even to the level of how I broke down in front of them. I had tears falling. My voice was shaking. My emotions were a 10, 1 out of 10, just up there. And I'm not an emotional type dude, like in the sense that, I'm not a crier, and so I don't think even my brain or my body understood how to control that emotion. So they exited. They said, Victor, I'm going to pay online. I remember them saying that we'll just pay online. Shut the doors, close the gates. And I went home and started my process. I remember that weekend. It was a tough one. You know what's the crazy part out of everything? I came back that Monday, looked at the computer, until this day, that customer never paid.